And here we go. What's going on, guys? It's Jay and Joku, and I'm not going to do the theme music for the Sneaker Principal podcast. I'm just going to speak. It has been a long day, and but I thought to myself before I head out to get into this crazy weather outside to get home that I have to talk about yesterday. Um, Hold up, my mic is a little too loud. So yesterday was MLK Jr. Day, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s day, celebrating his birth. And I shared with a lot of you that I was at an event for Morris Heights Health Centers. They had a community service day and kind of celebrating Dr. King. And it was great. It was great. There were several local officials there. There were students, families, parents, and and honestly, I was definitely moved by the event and what transpired there. But there's one person that I met there that I have to speak about. As you know, my podcast generally has to do with leadership and speaking about my experience as a leader, but also speaking about the the common grounds that all leaders, aspiring leaders, go through and experience. Whether you're a principal, you're assistant principal, you're a superintendent, you're just someone who's thinking about going to leadership. And there was one person there that honestly was so infectious, and that is Mr. Jose Ferrer. He's the principal of the Charter High School for Law and Social Justice. I gotta tell you, I met him and I felt like I met a kindred spirit. We were sharing war stories, having been deans in New York City schools. He was in Manhattan, I was in the Bronx, and all the things that we've done to get to the point where we are as school leaders. But I'll tell you the one thing that really stood out for me, and that's the reason that I am really emphasizing him in this live stream. This man, excuse me, saw one of his students present. There was some student presentations yesterday, and a young lady presented, and as she was presenting, he walks over to me and says, "Hey, her right there, she's in my advisory, and she's very quiet. She rarely speaks, and I always tell her to speak up." And here she was standing in front of an audience, including state senators, assembly men and women, and she spoke about her presentation having to do with service in the community, and he was so proud. Mr. Ferrer was so proud. I mean, when I say he was beaming, I don't think he even knew how much light was coming out of him. Like that level of just love and pride that was coming out of him watching this young lady present. And it made me think about something. I've visited many schools over the course of my career, whether it was walkthroughs, it was into visitations. I've met many school leaders over the course of the past over 20 years. But one thing that I have to say is very rare. Is when you see authentic, like not even a question, like love for your students, love for 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 like who they might become. When you see who they are, and you're like, man, this child is going to be something greater than the world has ever seen. And your energy is so high up about that child. And I'll tell you this, I've only come across very few principals across my time, and even as a student myself, they exuded that level of just passion for the work, but even more so passion for their students. And not to say that if you're not exuding that level of passion, that you're not a good principal or you're not capable. Some people just, you're even killed the whole entire time. But there's something to be said when people can see in you how much you love the work that you do. How much you know your students, and when they surprise you, you're bubbling with joy. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I am that person, but I can tell you this: I know for myself, there are many times that my students have made me just like, sorry about that ice machine. My office is hot, so ice is necessary for my fluids. So that's what you just heard. But no, there are certain students over the course of my career that literally, like literally, I was just literally in love with the space. I was in love with the work they were doing. I was in love with the community. They literally motivated me, to come in every day and be my best. And 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 listen, I mean, to the point where, and if you're a student hearing this and you're one of those students, you're grown now, you're an adult, but y'all made me cry. There was a particular group of students who literally I had invested so much of myself. Listen, I invest myself into all my students, but this particular group, maybe it's because I was younger, and I was still figuring myself out as a leader, but I poured all of myself in. I remember when they graduated, I boo-hooed on stage, snot bubbles and all. Like, I've never cried before. But it was also because I was so proud and so like like wowed by who they had become at that point in time from who they were when I first met them. And every time I come across them now as adults, I'm still beaming with pride because this is why we do the work. This is why I do the work, because I want to see the possibilities of who you can become. And when I do see that, it is better than any paycheck. It's better than any reward I can ever get or award I can ever get, because at the end of the day, I know that the work I've done has moved this young person into the next stratosphere of excellence and growth and all that good stuff. All right, y'all. I just want to make this quick video. Then I'm gonna head home now. Again, Mr. Ferrer, thank you so much. Charter School for Law and Social Justice on University Ave in the Bronx. You guys are amazing. And till next time.